Alright, let's start at the beginning, shall we? First things first, I'm going to go into the game settings. Obviously, adjust the volume to your preference. I think my stuff is still set from previous beta testing, but we're going to go through it all anyway. Video settings, set your, native resolution, full screen window, is usually the best way to do it. I have my overall quality preset set to high. It depends on your rig. You might want to set that a little lower, but I'm going with high. I don't remember a field of view increase. I think that's new. I'm going to leave it at default, which is 0. But if you guys have issues with motion sickness or really need a wider viewpoint, go ahead and turn that up. Post-processing. Here's where it gets interesting. I turn motion blur to 0. I hate motion blur. If you have a slower rig, turn down volumetric fog. That is a big deal. It eats your computer. Now, if you have a decent video card, but a slower processor, you might actually want to turn some of these options down here on. In some cases, it shifts the load from the CPU to the graphics card and you get better performance. You don't necessarily want them all on high, but turning them on could shift some of that load to your GPU from your CPU. You're gonna have to fiddle with those and find out what works best for you. In the interface, I have streamer mode turned on. All that does is hide your lobby code. So people can't just randomly join you, which I love to do when I see other people streaming it. I love having my geared up character just jump in their lobby and help them out randomly. Because one, it scares the crap out of them, and two, it's fun for me just to hang out with people and be like, hey, I have some stuff. Let me show you how to do things. That's kind of why I'm making these videos. Well, doing a live stream that I'm going to turn into videos. That's the plan. If you're one of those weirdos that needs to invert mouse movement, there's your options there. I'm not doing that. Keybinds. Obviously check your keybinds. Basic attack, block, left, right, mouse click. Push is for shoving enemies off of you. Default, I'm leaving most of these on default. The one that I have changed is hide current item. I think the default on that is X. My keyboard has a weird layout, so P works better for me. And what that does is it just holsters your current weapon. Dash is your dodge, the spacebar, sprint, shift, walk. Walk is control. There is no crouch, there is no jump in this game. So, be aware. Did they bring back quick slot numbers finally? Nice. They had it so that it was only a Q wheel menu for a while, and that thing sucked. I mean, it's great for controller users, but I don't have a controller, so the Q radial menu really pissed me off. The magic is literally the arrow keys on your keyboard. Don't even worry about that. To even use it, you need to find a Toastmaster's Tome, which is a spell book. Very rare drop. Once you get that, then you can equip it as a weapon, and you use the arrow keys to program in ruin combos to cast a spell. That's complicated. I'll probably get into it later, but definitely not at the beginning here. Ping, that one I think I changed too. That's hugely useful to ping enemies, boxes to loot, doors to go through, just in general to show your allies what you're doing and what you want them to do. Change ammunition if you have a bow with a quiver and you want to cycle through your arrows. That is quite useful. There's all the options. Get to the character here. On the bottom left, that's right, I was going to move my camera. Where should I put my camera? You know what, let's just move it right there for now. Let's see how that looks. So, bottom left, obviously chat. If you're in a party with other people, typing down there, you can see your weight. If you go overweight, you can still move mostly normally. It's your stamina that is destroyed. It goes away and it don't come back worth crap. Now, you have multiple inventory screens here, and you're going to have these in-game too. So you need to know to be able to switch. This is your equipment screen. So this is where your bags and weapons are. And then the next one over, this is all of your clothing and armor. So equipment is weapons, bags, random shit in your bags. Attire is your armor and your clothing. So if you're trying to swap armor in mid-match, you can do that. Don't forget you might need to go to this screen and throw stuff on the ground and then pick it up off the ground, and it doesn't always go well from your bag to your person. I'll get more into that later. Appearance, obviously you're not going to have this in-game, but you can just change your appearance at will. I prefer female character because it's smaller, and because female character. Why not? Haircut doesn't really matter since you're going to be wearing a helmet most of the time. Oh, there's one in here called Gassed, I think. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Now I look like an undead. Perfect. And the last one is your skill tree. I don't know how much of this they've gotten implemented lately, but it's really cool to just look through. Each level, you'll get a point. Put the points in, you mouse over the skill you want, and you hold click until it fills up. When I level up, I'll go into that again, but I think a lot of these are still not really, like that one even says on it, not implemented. However, it does unlock max stamina, and I think there's, max encumbrance up there. So that's what I usually go for first. And then, or maybe this one so that I can pick flowers and mine rocks. And up this tree is, bonus damage. Although apparently those are not implemented either. But more on that later. Back to our equipment screen and our stash. I have reset my character. So this is basically fresh. Same thing anybody else is going to be seeing. And we're going to get right into it. If you double click on a weapon, it gives you the stats of the weapon. And this is very important. You can see at the bottom where it says base damage, 25, 22, 20, and then swinging damage. My camera in front of that probably. 21, thrusting 15, swinging 23. These are all pretty low damage, but they are obviously starting weapons. All of these can be taken apart. You can take them apart and rebuild them two ways. You can either drag and drop the pieces in this screen here. So, for example, we have this light axe open. We can pull the head off of it. We can pull the grip off of it. Pull all those pieces off like that and put them back on the same way. And what you're going to be left with is just a shaft. That's how you swap the pieces that way. The other way to swap the pieces is if you right-click on the item and you go to Configure. This takes you to a different screen. Sort of looks like Tarkov, if you're familiar with that, where we have a stick, but there are mounting points on the stick. We can click on a mounting point and be like, we have this item in our inventory that will go in that slot. As you put things on, you can see it changed stats over here. So like if we put the axe head on, now we can see stats and the stamina cost for swinging it. So if we add the other pieces, Now all the pieces are back on. This is the other way you can edit weapons. Also, when you're in here, you can click up here and name your weapon. Because by default, it's going to be named like short, straight shaft or one-handed handle or something like that. We're going to leave it light axe for now because I'm probably going to mess with it later. Alright, so starter gear, kind of not great. But there's things you can do about that. For one thing, they start you off with a little money, and they also start you off with quite a bit of extra gear. Pull this off here. So, you see when I pull the blade off that sword, it gets way smaller because now it's just a hilt. We're going to sell that blade, and we're going to sell some other stuff here. You go to contacts. These are your NPC contacts that you buy and sell things from. So we're going to go to the squire. Since we haven't taken any quests yet, it's going to put us on the quest screen. Take all of the quests. You can have as many active as you want, and if you accidentally complete it, great. So this one is just go in the atrium. Accept quest. We've got it. This one is enter Redwold Basin. Got it. Those are locations on the two maps. Now in the top left, you'll see trade. This is the trade screen. This is very important. When you're on the trade screen, you can double click on their gear to see what it is, what it's made out of, how good it is. This is even worse than the starting sword that we get, so we don't want to use that. What we want in here is the backpack, which has disappeared. Mother sucker. Alright. I was messing around earlier. I must have accidentally broken it. That's fine. Normally, the squire will have a backpack for sale. We can get along without it, though. That's alright. What I'm going to do is sell a bunch of this extra crap that I don't want. And that. That's that. What does this have on it? So I'm only keeping one spare set of armor and a few spare weapons in case I die. The rest of this takes up too much space. Once you have the stuff there, you can just hold the button to trade and they automatically throw the money in your inventory. We're gonna go to the knight, who hopefully has armor for sale. Yes. What's this made out of? Bronze, tin, copper. Alright, we're going to take the bronze. Which may or may not make much of a difference currently. They're constantly fiddling with the, what's the word I want? The materials that the gear is made out of. They're constantly tweaking the stats on those, so might not make a huge difference right now. Those are both brass. Is there a price difference on those? Give me the cheap ones. And gloves don't currently have an armor rating, so I'm not even buying those. Alright, so those are in the buy window. I hit auto balance trade. Oh, they upped the prices. Looks like I'm $1 short. We'll throw a couple of items in here that I was going to sell anyway. Boom. So now, let us equip our gear. You can hold control and right click to just move stuff over quickly like that. That knapsack will also work as a backpack, so we'll do that for now. Your belt gives you quick slots at the bottom here, so make sure you put your potions in your actual quick slots, because your belt also has its own inventory that can just carry whatever random stuff you want. Alright, helmet. This helmet is ugly as sin, but it does a lot more protection than the kettle hat. Let's see, 70% versus 40%. Alright. Earlier I did take all my arrows, put them in the quiver, and put my quiver on, and equip my longbow. I like to carry a bow. One of the biggest problems in this game is light. So I would really prefer to carry this shield instead of this torch, but it's fucking dark in there, and I'm gonna need to be able to see. When I pull out the longbow, it's a two-handed weapon, so my torch will be stuffed in my butt and disappear, and it'll be dark. However, if I'm shooting at something far enough away, hopefully it's near a light source, since it's going to be out of range of my torch anyway, so for me to be able to even see it that far, probably don't need the torch. Alright, I think we're geared up. I'm going to auto-sort my inventory. That's what all these buttons are up here. You can decide how you want to auto-sort. Alphabetical, monetary value, size of item. I usually sort size of item, big ones on top. You can do whatever you want. Alright, we are geared up and ready to tackle our first dungeon. Oh, not quite. Let's go to the camp. This is your crafting stations. So your very first makeshift tent is free. Constructed that, and it gives us a plus 5% stamina regen bonus, which is nice. Now, down on the bottom left, you'll see the various crafting stations that we can build. Workbench is first. That's the first one we need. You see the materials listed here that we need to build it. If we click track, those materials will be highlighted with a little glowing dot in the dungeon to help us know to grab those. Oof. Alright, I'm going to go through and track all of them, because I'm not going to remember every single item that I want to grab. But this is really something you want to get going on as quick as possible, is building these crafting stations, because it makes it so much easier when you can craft your own arrows, craft your own armor, craft your own weapons. They're going to be better than most of what you can buy or find. Here's the actual crafting screen. As you see, we start off with the ability to smelt ingots. If we had an ironworks, we don't have an ironworks. But these are recipes that we already know. You do need to find more recipes. So, like, we go over here to weaponsmithing. The only things we have are 2 kinds of basic arrowheads and 2 kinds of basic axe heads and the short sword blade. And 1 style of crossguard, no pommels, 1 style of grip. Not real great. We're going to need to find recipes in there. Craft your own potions later, once you unlock the recipes and stuff. So, this should probably be under alchemy. Leatherworking, that's going to be for like making your backpacks. Very important. If you can find a good backpack recipe and make yourself a big backpack. Woodworking is going to be for pole arms and axes that makes the shafts. You start with most of those recipes. And then it's going to be for building a few in-between materials like quality wood and treated wood that you need for other various construction. Alright, party screen. Oh wait, we have a message. Oh, well, look at that. The Squire sent us a care package, including some lights. That's new. I don't have a real backpack, though, so I can't put those on. We're going to have to find one of those as quick as we can. Finally, to the party screen. This is where you invite people, select which map you're going to, select which entrance you're going to if you have multiple entrances unlocked. This start the match.
Is my boomstick!
Oh, I highly recommend clicking Find Party. Team up with some randoms. This is a PvE game. Anybody you team up with is only going to help. You might be afraid that, oh, they're going to get the good loot before me. That's really not a big deal. There is so much loot in there that you cannot carry it all out, even with the team. And you guys can help each other out, fight together, res each other if somebody goes down. It's worth just playing with randoms, if only to use them as a meat shield. Currently there's no playtest running, so I don't think I'm going to find anybody if I click Find Party. Only the beta testers are allowed in right now. Or alpha testers, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to do solo and just show you how it goes. Click and hold to start. First thing we want to try to find is a backpack, although the place that I remember them spawning the most is nowhere near here. Self-explanatory, eat a search. So the food items are mostly used to make dyes for making your clothing beautiful. Or also some potions like medicine and whatnot. Remember, hold control, right click to move stuff over quickly. You can double click on things in the inventory to look at their value. Like that wooden figurine is only a value of 5. I'm not going to bother to pick that up. I wonder what that stacks to. We're going to pick up the pipeweed just to see, because it's one slot, and I want to see how many it stacks to, because if we can bring out a stack of 50, then it suddenly becomes worth a lot more. So you see we got a stack of 8 that's worth 40 already. You can find coins themselves in the match. That's always nice. I'm going to take the wax because I know that's going to be really useful later as a crafting material. You need it for making a bunch of stuff. Especially waxed thread, which is used for making like backpacks and armor and all sorts of stuff. I don't think we need that, but we might. Notice we haven't seen anything that is highlighted yet that we need for our camp improvements. We have not found anything to upgrade our camp with yet. This is a hole into the uckiness where the bad monsters come out of. If we hold E and block it up, it will disable it for around 15 minutes. They keep fiddling with the timers on that, so don't quote me. For a while, it was 3 minutes. Hopefully they have it still around 15 minutes. That'll keep monsters from spawning behind us as we go down into here. And fight these guys. Looks like that sound is busted. Remember, if you hold control to stab, or shift for an overhand swing, it can be useful in doorways where you have limited range of motion. Because you see, if I just normal swing, it hits the wall and I rebound back. But if I hold control, I stab through the doorway. I don't need a carrot. This is a barrier. It can be broken, which is quite useful sometimes for getting to loot that you can't otherwise get to. Alright. So, I know those boots are needed for a quest later, so I'm going to swap them with my boots and carry them out that way. These boots don't really do anything in this game. Oh, that's new. Those ones actually have armor rating on them. Okay, so my boots now... Ah, that's cool. That's new. The tall boots now have an armor rating on them. That is new. I think they intend to give armor ratings to virtually everything you wear. Ball and chain? You're kidding me. That's gotta be a quest item, right? That's gotta be a quest item. You see how this door requires a jailer's key, which we don't have. So breaking through that wall right there is the only way into there. What's going on out here, you?
I'm opening the door.
What are you? Alright, so that was a screamer or wailer or something like that. If you let it go off, it will summon a small horde. So, I think we killed it before it could summon the horde. So we should be good. Always look at these like armor stands, because they can spawn good armor. That shield is neat looking, but I don't really have room to carry it right now. Oh, hell yes. Look at that. This shelf right here has 4 key rings on it. They don't always spawn keys. In this case, I got 2 keys, and one of them is the jailer's key. That is huge. I'll show you why in just a minute here. What is that? Interesting. Alright, so obviously this is one of the doors that the jailer's key can open. This one does not require a key, but there's usually no loot in here. Just like an item or two on the shelf. Yeah, oh, wax. I'll take that. Did not expect anything good in there. Now these last 2 doors, these are where you really, this key shines.
Opening.
Oh, hey, look at that. See that there on the ground? That is a tripwire. And look up there, see that barrel? Come on. Haha, missed me. Now this room can spawn some good loot. Oh boy. That chest was awful. How disappointing. That's okay. That's okay. Still got plenty of stuff to search. Ooh, I need that. Okay, see how it's got a little orange eyeball on there? It's tough to see. But that's one of the items that we need for upgrading our camp. What's this over here? Dice. And this is also... Oh, those scum suckers. I see how they're doing to me now. It used to be that this room was guaranteed to spawn a dead body that had decent armor on it. Looks like that's not guaranteed anymore. Ooh, iron ore. Okay, so you can see my weight is already getting up into the yellow. That iron ore, you might not want to take it just because it weighs a lot. The gold ore, take it. You can sell that for a lot. The iron ore, though, it's going to be a while until it's actually useful to you. Dang, I was going to try to go a lot further. Now I'm thinking we might just make this a short run. I didn't hear any big horrible monsters, so this room probably only has little ones. You can see when you enter a room, it tells you the name of it there on the side. I think my camera might be covering that. Part of it. It's fine. A couple little bad guys wandering around down there. So early in the game, anything that sells for a decent amount, like that ink, sells for quite a bit considering it's a one-slot item. Charcoal we need. We need charcoal. Pickaxe, I don't think we need. Limestone flux, we do need some of that. Don't care. So those flowers right there require the survivalism skill to pick, which is silly, but whatever. Ooh, that's nice. So you see that's got 15% armor, and that goes in your next slot. We can just control right click, and that'll immediately hop on the slot that it's supposed to be in. So you need the skill for picking the flowers, but you don't need the skill for mining the rocks still. Okay. You should. It's definitely a bug, but early access, and I'm just sort of telling you how to do things. Copper, huh? I wonder if I should take that tin after all, because copper and tin make bronze, which is not as good as iron, obviously, but it's a lot better than tin by itself. Oh shit, it's a screamer.
Hold back! To arms!
Come on. Two big guys at once? Those guys hit like trucks.
Using a potion.
Fucking where did they come from?
Drinking an elixir.
This is a never-ending shit show, isn't it?
I'm drinking an elixir.
That was bad. I'm used to having a shield, which is basically perfect block everything. But yeah, you saw that screamer went off, and that was just a shit show. I'm gonna say, let's get out of here and take what spoils we have for this run. Oh, hey, that's still blocked up, so that's good. But always remember, you can always exit where you came in. You don't have to find a different exit. So that's a successful run. Those bigger guys hit like a truck. Look at that, that's not even a half a level there. Okay, the Squire restocked. So hopefully the Squire has a backpack for me. So first things first. Let's put all this in here. Does it not stack higher than that? Yeah, this is all stuff that I'm saving for later, but I don't need to look at right now. A jailer's key is hopefully going to come really in handy here, but I don't know. I'm not sure what this stuff does. Probably going to sell that. Ornate storage key. I'm going to save that for later. I don't need to do anything with it right now. I'm thirsty. Let's have a beer. Also, those big guys, when they got hits in on me, there's a good chance that I would have died right there if I had not bought that chest plate before I went in. It is definitely worth selling half your starting inventory to get a nice chest plate and pauldrons to start. That is a key to my survival there. Heavy armor. Let's go to the Squire. Let's see if they have a backpack. Because goddamn do I want... Yes! Yes! Okay, good. Backpack. Put all these things in here that we wanted to sell. Aha, look at that gold ore. Yeah, that's doing work for us. That just bought us that backpack right there. Anything else we need in here? Don't think so. There we go, baby. Alright. So now on this backpack, we're going to equip it. And we're going to right click on it and we're going to go to configure. Since they've given us this free stuff, I'm going to use it. On the rig slot, we can put this little frame. And then on the tip of that frame, we can put that lantern. Oh yeah. That's awesome. Now, I don't need that stinking torch. Now, I can have a shield. That is fantastic. That makes it so much easier. Alright, let's see if our damage went down at all. Oh, I don't have the other one to compare to because I sold it. Pretty sure that's the same damage, though. Personally, I prefer one-handed with a shield, especially if I have a light like this. But if you want to do two-handed or whatever, feel free. You saw that I was able to parry all of those attacks with just the one-handed and the torch. Obviously, I didn't do perfectly. I got slapped around a little bit. The shield makes that a lot easier because you just hold it up and you're good to go. Let's check some of the other contacts. Oh wow, the blacksmith has nails and stuff for sale. How much is a pile of nails? Because nails are not that easy to find, and you need them. Oh, and a hammer? Hammers aren't so hard to find. Nails in quantity are difficult. So I was meaning to sell that sword blade earlier. I forgot. I'll throw that on there. I'm probably going to sell this kettle hat, but not yet. Just in case we die. There we go. We got some extra nails. I don't think that's enough for anything. Yeah, right. Okay. So we need building supplies and a hammer to get our basic workbench. But we got enough nails now, so that's big. That's good. Let's check the other contacts and see what they've got. I personally don't like cloaks. Like, I'll pick them up in the mission just to bring them out and sell them. But I think they look silly. Linen thread. You go through quite a lot of that, I've found. Although you can usually find that pretty reliably. Alright, the knight. Oh, that's different. What's the damage on that? Oh, it's made out of tin. Ugh. I say, because I had a hammer in one of the beta tests that was really good. So, keep an eye on that stuff. Scholar, yes. Awesome. The big potions are so worth it. How much are they? 75? Do I still have that Rose Noble? I
My
do.
Life for Ire joined your channel.
We are going to buy 2 of those. And that's probably going to be the potions that we use mostly. Oh, and these Cinderhearts are also great for clearing large swarms. Let's see if we have enough for that. We do, barely. I'm going to buy it. Put that gold to work. Alright, so we're going to swap big potion there. Take the small potion out here, and we're gonna swap that around there. So we got big potion, that's gonna be our primary healing. Backup potion if we somehow run out of big potion, because it's got 7 uses. Stamina potion if we are desperately needing to be able to run away or swing a bunch. Bandages are just a small heal. I'm just waiting for them to implement bleed, and I'm gonna be like, I'm bleeding to death and I have no bandages, so I always carry one just in case. And then the Cinderheart potion is a firewall, basically. It makes a circle of flame that burns on the ground for a while. And it's really good for if you got a horde coming, like when that screamer went off before and I had all those guys coming up the stairs and after me from all directions. It would have been great to retreat, throw one of those down, and make them all run through it. Sort our inventory. Still got plenty of space in the bags. Now we've got a backpack and everything. Oh, this... tempted. You know what? We're going to take that rope. Where did I put that rope? So there are hidden exits in every map, and some of them require a rope. Like it's a climb out of a hole exit. So you have to have a rope on your person to get out that secret exit. I don't plan on using those exits right now because I'm trying to show you guys where the other exits that you need to unlock as entrances are. But we will. It's nice to have an emergency escape route.